Hey guys, Jacob and Mario here, and today's topic is anime that are so bad that they're good. So I gave you guys a little tease in the last topic, so I'm gonna get straight into mine. Ghost stories.
Okay.
Ghost stories is a fascinating little phenomenon where it was given to the dubbing studio with no script because it was kind of a flop. And they said to the actors, just match the lip flaps, improvise. So it goes from what was a horror show to this improvised comedy that is meme gold. It is amazing. It's pretty much the original abridged series. They're just matching the lip flaps as close as they can and doing
Honestly, I've never watched this anime,
improv.
so I feel like I should watch.
One of the characters is a child. He's about a toddler, so the only voice acting is and that's it. That's it. And then there's a cat, and the cat, of course, doesn't speak because it's a cat.
Yeah.
But one guy does the entire inner monologue where he's like, "I'm going to murder you all. I'm not a cat. I am Satan himself."
What the hell? Holy crap!
And it's just chaos, and it's so awful, and it's so amazing, and it's just a bunch of voice actors loving their jobs with no restraints.
Okay, so
And it is worth watching for sure. Meme goldmine.
okay, so it's only good when you watch the dub version of it.
Oh, definitely.
If it's a sub version, it's just
The
completely
sub version is just, it's a average, like, it was released in 2000 by
Right.
Studio Perot, and it was just kind of a...
Damn, it's 19 years, bruh.
Yeah, no, it's a long time ago. And it was just a flop. Like, no one really cared. So, the English dub is what has kept it alive, because it just was an entire joke. They literally were just given the episodes with no order and no script.
Yeah, people love their memes, eh?
It's amazing.
So my first one on my list is Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere.
Is that an isekai?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's confusing. It's like, honestly, I don't want to say it's confusing as hell, but honestly, the story is not well done. It's something that's like, what the is going on here? It's just all over the place with
Just
it.
poor choices?
It's just, they're over explaining things here and just like not making sense here and just tons of dumb, weird stuff.
Classic anime.
Thrown in there. It's like, oh, and then like even them explaining, like, just explaining every bloody emotion there is. It's just so bad. But I ended up watching this series. I don't know why. Please do not ask me why. I ended up watching it nearly 15 times. I know. Season 1 and 2.
What?
Watched it 15 times because I was like, what the hell's... What did I just watch? And I kept watching
to watch
it.
Ghost Stories then.
I know.
Oh,
but I kept watching. I was like, what the is this story? It's just so over the place. There's so many different weird things happening. And it's like, who's this character? Never gets explained. What the hell is this character? Just a demon in the middle of the class. And it's just like, what are you here for? What are you? You're just incubus? Okay, what are you? What are you doing here? It just makes no sense. There's a whole bunch of spiritual stuff, a whole bunch of science stuff. Just everything just thrown together to make this shit storm that ends up watchable for some weird reason. I don't know why, okay? It's just a weird anime, but it's got tons of plot in it. You know what the plot I'm talking about.
Plot. All right. Yep.
But they don't focus too much on it, but they do. And it's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
Like sheer unbridled chaos.
It's just chaos. But I've watched it so many times. Even Cameron says the same thing. He's like, I don't know what the hell, but I'll watch it. He's got the DVDs for it.
I'm so borrowing those when I go over there.
It's like, holy crap. What the hell?
In the like spirit of chaos and something that I've watched way too many times for how bad it is. And I've, again, only seen the English dub, which makes it so much worse. Actually, no, I lie. I've watched the English dub the most because I think it's more chaotic. Excel Saga, which came out in 1999. Viz released it. Excel Saga is the story of a hyperactive girl who is hit by a car and then comes back to life as a ghost secret agent for a man who is essentially the anime Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who only wants to take over a small section of Tokyo. Not all of Tokyo. Not the world. Just a little bit of Tokyo.
Just a little bit. You see, he's making his sort of reign small.
His name is Lord Il Palazzo, and for some reason, he can control the personification of the universe to bring people back to life whenever he wants. So, Excel essentially becomes immortal, even though she's an idiot who is immediately in love with this guy, who her roommate is then a Martian princess who crash lands, who is allergic to our atmosphere, who consistently dies, but also consistently comes back to life. And they go on missions where they fail every time, and it's awful, and it's... Oh, it's...
But I love it. I love the opening for it.
It's an amazing opening. They also have the anime equivalent of Deadpool in a character named Nabashin, who is the personification of the author. He's this hulking, large white dude with an afro who can pull guns out of his afro. He also turns into a train, a mech, and has unlimited TNT. He has a theme song, and he's the only actual narrative thread. Everything else is this unorganized chaos, but he's the actual storyline that just pops up here and there. And it's... Oh my God. Man, it is something else.
Yeah.
But
That's a good suggestion.
I love this anime. It is good in Japanese and English, so go for it. In Japanese, it's a lot more cultural jokes.
Yeah.
In English, it's more like, we don't know what's going on, but we're going with it.
Because you can't make the same cultural jokes.
Hit me up with yours, please.
Surprisingly enough, school days. I mentioned it 2 topics ago. So earlier this week, about it being a good drama, one that you should and shouldn't watch.
Mm-hmm.
So part of the reason why you should and shouldn't watch it is because the story is sort of, it's sort of like a teenager, sort of like a early teen. Teenagers. Please tell us if you know that reference.
Smells like teenagers.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, 90s kids could get
90s kids, don't let us down.
Yeah, if you know what it means, if you know what it is, put it in the comments below. But the reason School Days is just it's a bad anime, but it's good is because of the storyline. The story's a bit, but the social issues that they deal with and like some parts in it which are like totally fucked up, and I don't want to explain. Just end up making it good and watchable, but don't watch it. But watch it. Okay, it's like was it Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah.
It's either alive or dead. It's just like don't watch it or watch it. There you are. I'm sorry, this is so confusing.
It is both good and awful until you perceive it.
Yes,
and then it's one or the other.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I get that.
But I still reckon it's both good and awful at the same time.
Oh, so man. I'm going to have to watch this now.
Don't watch it. I'll never recommend anyone to watch it, but watch it.
Oh, golly, here we are.
It's the most confusing thing. And it's all watch it and be like, I hate you. It's like, I told you not to watch.
Yeah, you had fair warning.
I told you not to watch it, but I watched it.
Oh, all right.
What's your next one?
So this one was, I actually watched almost all of this. Actually, no, I did watch all of it. It's a mini-series. So it just kind of came and went. Mad Bull 34, which was suggested to us by a friend of the show, Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio.
And it is essentially the Japanese interpretation of 80s and 90s buddy cop action movies. And it's sheer chaos. It's one of the scenes is there's this huge gunfight, and the main character and his sidekick are pinned down, and his final move, he's like, all right, I knew this would come in handy. He pulls down his pants to reveal his genitals are entirely grenades. Each grenade is tied to a pube, so all the pins are attached to it, so he just yanks them out. And then he's just throwing them at each other. His friend is like grabbing bunches of them and tearing them off. It's not as ecchi as it sounds, believe me. It's extremely funny. But it's just weird, over-the-top stuff like that where for a brief moment in the first episode, it was like, ooh, the Japanese understand this idea of American buddy cops. And then they don't. And they just continue to not. And it becomes the most Japanese thing I've ever seen, with just this real big, like, F you to American comedy, which is hilarious and amazing. And I'm so glad this was suggested, because this is up there with Excel Saga as one of my favorites.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's a thing.
Moving on from that one. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Okay. The last one I have on this list, so Cross Angie.
Cross Angie.
Yeah. So how to explain this one?
With your words.
It's a very emotional, back and forth sort of anime where things will be good at one point and then totally fucked up the next.
Ooh, okay, I'm intrigued.
But it pretty much is like fucked up, good, fucked up, good, fucked up, and then good.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah. There's a lot of shit that happens and it's like, why? So
it's sort of like it tries to play that emotional line of ups and downs, but doesn't really hit.
Yeah, it doesn't really hit. Like there's certain parts in the anime that are like really terrific, really well done, and there's other parts that's like you kind of ruined it because you're trying to be too edgy with it.
So instead of being an Excel Saga or a Mad Bull, it's more of like just a weak attempt at both.
Yeah, so essentially it's like there's people who can use mana.
Mm-hmm.
The main chick of this was a princess. She couldn't use mana during the presentation, so they threw her ass off into this island where she has to fight dragons from another dimension, and a whole bunch of people die.
That sounds unfair.
Yeah, really fucked up.
All right.
It's just a princess.
Man.
Because she couldn't use mana, they're like, yeah, you're a piece of shit now.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Like, holy crap. Any parent would do that to their daughter because they weren't some sort of magical bloody person. You're a piece of shit.
Have you heard of China?
You're a piece of shit, China.
Oh, the wrestler, not the country.
Yeah.
Well, we can't come back from that one. I love it when you get depressed in these last topics, because that's all bleeps for you.
Yeah, I just get annoyed. But yeah, it's one where I recommend you watch it, but don't. You're not there for the good times. I'm just.
You're there for the dragon fighting.
You're there for the dragon fighting, and there's some scenes where they make it good. There's other points where it's just like, what the fuck did you do? There's no point. You just ruined, like you took out an interesting character and replaced it with complete garbage. So thank you, you piece of shit.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you watched a crap anime that is crap and not even good. So you should watch my ones instead.
No. It's good. At the end of the day, if you watch it overall. Right. It's shit if you just implement certain sections of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Excel Saga remains to be chaos the whole way through.
But it's good because of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this is good because of its shitty points, but it's got bad points in it.
I'm just making sure that this is a good anime.
Yeah, it is.
God damn, do I not want to watch this garbage?
It's not garbage. It's just... They're just trying to be edgy in too many scenes, and it sort of lets things down a bit. But it's a good anime overall. I highly recommend it. As much as it doesn't sound like I recommend it.
No, it doesn't sound like you recommend it at all.
I'm just really emotional about some of the scenes in there where I was just like, oh, why?
See, be like me. Have no emotions. Enjoy anime. Make fun of people. Watch Excel Saga.
Or be like me, who has emotions.
Tie grenades to your nuts and fight your enemies with them.
Be like me, who actually has emotions, but can't really feel empathy for anyone else.
Oh, man. You know it's been a long week when Brandon gets like this.
Oh, okay. On to the next topic. See you guys.
Peace. What the fuck was that? The fuck was that, man?
The anime made me feel depressed.
So? We're not watching the anime?
I know, but it made me feel depressed thinking about it.
Oh,